What's up, everyone? You're watching the AFTERBUZZ TV after show for The Real Housewives of Orange County. We're in season 11, episode 14, Lies, Secrets, and Vicki's got a new guy. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We're back.
Woo!
We are back here in the studio at AFTERBUZZ TV. It's good
Thomas,
to see you
that was
guys.
so good. You hit all the points. We know exactly where we are.
I'm your host, Thomas Orlina, and you can find me at Thomas Orlina on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. And I'm joined here with...
Hey everybody, my name is Christy Olson. You guys can always reach me at Christy Reports. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
And I'm Blake V. Find me, as always, on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Blake V Media.
Another great AFTERBUZZ episode. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really excited to be here. There's so much to discuss. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing so good. Thank you. We're
Good.
missing Grant tonight.
Yes, we miss you, Grant.
We miss you, Grant.
He's on vacay
But-
back home.
Yes.
So his family gets him for the week. I guess that's okay.
We have to share him.
And obviously, I was a little bit concerned, honestly, about this episode tonight. After last week, we got the supersized trailer at the end.
Yes.
Usually when they say coming up this season or like later this season, it means it's because we ain't got nothing good to tell you about next week.
Yeah.
So I was concerned, but it was okay.
I was too. This morning I checked. I'm like, no, we have an episode tonight for sure. So tonight's episode, we kind of just dive right into some drama, which is kind of like what we haven't. We kind of have to wait towards the end of the show to get there. But right off the bat, we're having Shannon and Vicki awkwardness. What do you guys think
Yes.
about that?
A lot.
I think the smell in there was too much for me, and I had to get right out of that place.
Yeah,
I don't
think it was the energy. I think it might have been the energy.
I think it was both, a little of both. I don't blame Heather at all. I'm super fragrance sensitive, so in a space like that, I easily could be overtaken by the fumes and the vibes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Regardless
I gotta
of how
leave.
much champagne there was.
Exactly. Not enough champs in the world to smooth that one over. No, I thought that the interaction between Shannon and Vicki was very interesting because Shannon keeps making it clear she doesn't want to be friends with Vicki. Fine. But she's like so upset that Vicki couldn't respond to the phone call or whatever. First of all, that was a half-assed phone call. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Second of all, what if Vicki was in like so much pain or like hurt or just like really couldn't respond? Like
Couldn't physically.
yeah. I mean, I don't even care. Like some people be like, oh, but a text is just a text. It's so easy. No, I feel like you have to be in the right mindset to like communicate. And if you're not feeling well, you're not feeling well. And who is Shannon to be like demanding a response? Like, who are you that you need to know that? I thought that was very like presumptuous. And for her to accost Vicki in that way, like, well, I needed some response, Vicki. Forget about how you feel. I needed to know.
Yeah.
Not about it.
She could have just been self-righteous in the fact that she did reach out to Vicki, which, she should, as she said herself, should have done sooner, but really didn't have to do at the end of the day either. And she should have just been kind of about it like, well, I called you.
Yes, 100%. Like if she really felt it in her soul to speak to her, she really could have just been like, oh, how have you been feeling? Oh, I called you. Yeah, oh, I've been
still
thinking about you.
wondering.
Yes.
She kind of went in on that. I felt like when she was going to Vicki, it wasn't coming from she was very amped up already. I think there's a lot going through her head, and she just wants, I feel like she wants that friendship back. I've been saying that since we started this after show.
Yeah.
I feel like she just is finding a way to somehow try to forgive her, but in a way still holding on to the past.
Right. Well, I mean, she's clearly very hurt still for the very fact that she can't let anything go. She can't really ignore Vicki because she has to keep bringing stuff up. And, I agree with that. I think she probably does miss the friendship, and it doesn't help matters that Vicki is now regaining her friendships with all the other ladies. So now Shannon again is on the outside, kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, I want in. I want back on the Vicki train. I want to whoop it up with Vicki
Yeah.
because everyone
Who could
wants
blame
to.
her? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll talk later about the little outburst that she had where she was a little didn't know how to kind of confront Vicki at the party, the second party. So
Yeah.
it was just a lot. So we're seeing next that they're going kind of back and forth about this lie that Vicki's bringing up. And it's kind of like, you have that person that has that dirt on you that is stored, like how she describes it, in a box. And then for her to bring that up in front of people, what did you guys feel about, just her bringing that up?
I felt that it was way too Kim Richards-y. You are Vicki
was.
Gunvalson. You are not Kim Richards.
You don't need that.
A blonde OG Real Housewife is not just another blonde OG housewife. Okay?
Yeah.
You can't just go acting like the other ones. No, I mean, this is one of those things. Say it or don't. Don't
bring
the
it up.
secret or don't keep the secret. It's Vicki is smart and she should know that this just sounds like an empty threat. Either lay it out there or keep your mouth shut because this just makes you sound silly.
Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that her throwing it out definitely does sound like a threat. But also, I sort of see, you know, she's getting her buttons pushed. So she's almost like, quit upsetting me or else. Because now the tables have turned, and before it was Shannon not wanting to be friends with Vicki. Yes, and now it's Vicki saying, I don't really care to be friends with Shannon now because of her treatment towards me. So it's an interesting little flip-flop they've done.
Yeah.
And almost to see Shannon kind of like, you know, ready to get in the mix with her, and Vicki now is saying like, back off or else.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think everything that happened at Glamis on the previous episodes has really kind of rallied the women to support Vicki, and like what you said, Shannon is a little bit on the outs, and that's how it is on the Housewives episodes. Like you just, one minute you're in the crew and the next minute you're out of the crew. So I feel like she's holding on to that.
She is. And one other thing I thought was interesting, I'm just gonna go there
Go there,
I'm among
please.
friends, so I'm just gonna go there. When Shannon and Vicki were having their little moment at Megan's party, it quickly snowballed into David. Like somehow David got brought up, and Vicki was like, "Oh, it was despicable," or whatever she said. You know, she said he was a whatever she said about him was negative.
POS.
That's right.
Yes.
She called. That's right. And then Shannon very quickly said, "Oh, well, what he said was out of line, but you provoked him. You started the whole thing. You pushed him to it." And I was just like, well, that's interesting, because she's very quick to say that Vicki pushed David to his reaction to her, but then when it comes to Shannon's relationship with David, she didn't do any pushing of causing him to do anything.
Jeez.
I went there. there.
Yes, we asked you to.
See, everyone else can push David's buttons, but she is on another level and doesn't provoke anybody to do anything.
See, I was gonna give Shannon props for even acknowledging to Vicki, like saying that David shouldn't have gone there, because Vicki absolutely walked right up to David and went, "Well, Shannon's in her
She
prime
did.
over there."
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely, he would have been justified in saying much more to Vicki than he did. So I was surprised that Shannon even admitted that. I don't know about all that.
That's a lot. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one, Blake.
I know. It's next level. Think about it. Get back to me on it. Let me know. Let me know what
Yeah.
you think on that.
It's just that, dude. It's like that ongoing, you know, this is what we wanted. Like, we need two housewives that don't like each other, that are kind of finding their way throughout the season, and it looks like what we're seeing on the next episode, more drama between the women. So it's just, this season is so great. It's just giving us all.
keeps giving.
It's just everything.
The
Just when you think
season
you're
that keeps
good,
giving.
like how Grant is like, we're good, it just keeps giving more. So this is one of the best Bravo Real Housewives seasons for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So then we cut to the Kill All Cancer commercial that Vicki is
goodness,
doing.
yes.
What do we think about that? Because it feels like she kind of brings it up to where she's saying that she feels like this is like the women are going to be seeing that she has nothing to hide. It is for a charity for cancer. What did you guys think about her acting skills on the camera?
Not so good.
No?
Not so good. I mean, I think
so
I would expect
good.
her to be much more natural on
Yeah.
camera, not to be so hosty. Hosty is a word that we use in our line of work. I think people can kind of understand what that means.
Yeah.
But more than that, she continues to acknowledge, oh, people are going to have a lot to say about this. Oh, this is for the naysayers, this and that. It's like, if it's that big of a deal, you shouldn't do this to prove something. You shouldn't get involved in a charity to prove something. And Vicki's not doing herself any favors by basically saying that that's why she's doing this. I just don't get it at all.
Yeah. There's so many different charities. I found that very interesting. What do you think, Blake?
Yeah, no, that's what I think too. Is I completely get her desire to be a part of charity for sure. That's great. That's commendable. But yeah, the cancer thing. I mean, it's like too soon. I feel like it's too soon.
It is too soon.
You know, like we just got over this whole cancer business with Vicki attached to it, and now she's the new face of the, cancer, the anti-cancer. It's just, like you said.
People thought she would remove herself from that whole situation, but now
Yes.
we're just reminding people.
Right, and yes, cancer's terrible, but unfortunately she got brought into this kooky cancer thing before. So like you said, there's so many charities. There's so many. What if she got behind, another disease, another illness, or empowering women, or rescuing animals, or whatever other line of charity you could do would be filling that hole in her wanting to, give back, but also not kind of like throw it in everyone's face like, well, I'm taking this head on. It's like, okay, we get it, but
absolutely. And if part of her goal is to be charitable and make people forget about the Brooks situation, I actually think something involving women or women getting over past relationships, something that empowers independency among
awesome.
women would have been a much better look than this cancer thing.
Absolutely. Like domestic violence or emotional abuse. I mean, if the story is told correctly, she definitely endured some sort of emotional, mental manipulation, something with Brooks. If it's true that she didn't know and, he did it all to her, I mean, she was manipulated for sure. And you're 100% right that she could have taken it down that path. And I think we all would be reacting very differently.
Yes, I totally agree. Continuing on with the drama, Shannon and Heather pays her a visit to Shannon's new place, which, what did they describe it as? She was just like,
oh, this dump.
She did say this dump, but it's obviously a gorgeous home.
It is gorgeous.
That's where we're still laying out the conversations of this whole lies thing that Vicki is, bringing out to the table. And we're seeing cutbacks to Kelly kind of going one by one with the women and telling them that Vicki has kind of told her something about Shannon's secret. And so Heather is kind of there looking at her, kind of wanting answers, like, what is the secret? What is she talking about? So I just feel like there's this secret that's not being told. What do you guys feel about that whole thing?
Shannon didn't seem too concerned to me, although her behavior later and really trying to sort of buddy back up to Vicki is concerning, but she played it off well in this scene. If there is a secret, Shannon had me convinced with Heather that there is not.
Do you think it's kind of suspicious that we're seeing her at Heather and Terry's book party, that she's kind of being a little bit more nicer to Vicki? Is that just kind of...
that made me suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that Shannon has a very good poker face. I think she can kind of like read her moments and see how she needs to
when
play
she
her
wants
cards.
to reveal the crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think you're spot on. She came like guns blazing at the first one. Oh, Vicki, why didn't you get back to me? But then now suddenly, she's a lot friendlier. I hope it's because she's really seeing through the situation and wants to connect on a friendlier level.
But you're not going to give Shannon that much credit, are you, Blake?
No.
Not likely.
Yeah,
I gotta see this one through before I decide.
Yeah. So we get to the party. Obviously, Heather throws the best parties, I feel, as she's one of the top housewives to throw the best parties.
So let me just say, we all have large hearts for Heather. This is true.
Yes.
But, I mean, she has the best help in her life.
She does.
She has the best food because she has a chef. She has the best parties because she had that lovely party planner. I think if you had she probably trained this, took her through the ranks, showed her what a Heather party should be.
She probably only works for Heather.
She probably only works for Heather, and she knows Heather's style. Heather's probably, broken her in and kind of gotten her just right, so she can say, "Hey, put on this party," and she's like, "Cool, I know exactly. I got all the caterers and the people and this and that's all lined up because
let's put a book and some ice.
Yes,
let's do it.
That was pretty cool.
Let me call the ice people. Like they've got it all lined up. So yes, of course it's going to be beautiful because she followed Heather's plan, architectural blueprints, the
Dubrow formula.
The Dubrow formula. But yes, it was a gorgeous party. It looked really, really fun.
And of course, at these parties, we have to have some drama. We saw that Jim Edwards came into the party, which we saw a different side to him on this episode. I think, I feel, what do you guys think about how he is?
Bless his heart. He was sweet last week, and now this week he asked the ladies at the beginning to take it outside at the candle party, but he didn't push it. I
saw
think,
kind of like a smile too, because he was just like, we can't control the situation right now.
He's doing the best that he can
Yeah.
in this whole being a real house husband
world.
thing. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna start giving him a little credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all been a little down on him for really the sake of just seeing him, the way he's come across on the show thus far has been less than
Flattering.
Yeah. And he warmed my heart a little last episode with the whole ultrasound moment with Megan. That was really sweet because we've seen him so like just monotone the whole time, but he was really emotional and sweet, and I liked it. So yes, and it was sweet. He surprised her this week, and points for Jim.
Yes,
I
100
think
points. So probably the biggest drama or the biggest moment was at that point where Shannon was awkwardly talking about shrimp to kind of get into the circle. Those situations where you're just at a party, you don't really know what to do.
So you grab a fried shrimp and you jump right in
And
there.
you tell people about it.
It was, you could sense that Tamra and Vicki and everybody there was sensing that that's kind of her olive branch to get in the conversation.
Her entree. But I think
literally an appetizer.
An appetizer shrimp. But I liked it because
Yes.
we whatever issues everyone has with Shannon, she kind of slid right in, and everyone just accepted it. So it did kind of show to me that especially Vicki is not really out to nitpick or out for blood. Like, Shannon really kind of caused the first confrontation, but then the second one, when she decided to kind of let it go, she just kind of slid right in, and the ladies accepted it. So maybe that'll kind of show her as well, it's okay, like, let your guard down a little, don't be nitpicking about the past, kind of let it fall by the wayside, and everyone can have a really good time, because everyone seemed really accepting this episode, actually.
Yeah.
Well, they did, and I thought that Shannon seemed a little bit sauced by this point. And I think
for the shrimp that they had.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
especially with the bowl. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think that may have had something to do with her ability to just sort of forgive and forget and jump in there in that second. She seems like she's genuinely having fun.
God bless a cocktail.
Right?
Yes.
If that's what it needs to get us to the level of friendship, I'm about it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I mean, for once, well, not for once because Shannon used to do that a lot, but Kelly was the one who was not overly saucy.
She was very composed.
Yes,
Very
she
composed.
was.
In fact, the husband was in the limelight this time for being sauced, as we're putting it, and Kelly was not, and that was an interesting kind of role switch.
I think this is the first time we've seen alcohol be involved in a situation, and she did not get to the point of being out of control.
Yeah.
I 14 episodes in, I'm pretty sure every episode we've seen her.
She did say that he did leave her in an Uber at Costco when she was getting her hot dog and a drink.
Right. So you think that she would be even more upset and like saucy, right?
Yes.
I would have said, stay your ass at home. I'm going to this party, and you are not. Because you were a jerk, and you left me at Costco with my hot dog and Diet Coke. So, F you tonight.
Yes.
So you'd put on your makeup,
Yes.
and then you'd go to the party. Well, let me tell you guys a little bit of something about the
Yes, tell us.
BeautyCon box. Our sponsor, BeautyCon box, is a fantastic subscription box that can be delivered to your door each season, curated by your favorite beauty gurus. You get over $150 worth of product for just $30. Plus, you can save $20 if you sign up for the annual payment plan. You pay the total cost of the entire year of boxes. Otherwise, there's a seasonal payment plan you can pay each month for the box and shipping costs. Check out beautycon.com/box to sign up for your subscription, and use the code BOXBUZZ for 20% off your subscription.
Nice.
Again, BOXBUZZ for 20% off products that are currently in the box: the Red Ken Sea Salt Spray, the Smashbox Brow,
Good beachy hair with that
Nice.
sea spray.
that's Candy Johnson's go-to brow product, and the NYX Ombre Lip Duo in Peaches and Cream for that bright pop of color. I do love me some NYX
Cosmetics.
Yes.
So good. So good. Those are great products in there.
Right?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And would cost way more than $30. So get
I
your
know, that's a
BeautyCon box,
steal.
people, and use that Box Buzz for 20% off your subscription.
do it. Oh my God, I'm going to do it.
Also, new products.
Love it.
Together.
Let's do it.
So somebody who pretty much had the new moment on this episode was Vicki. We were introduced with Steve, her brand new man. What do you guys think of him? First opinions.
Well, I was like, oh, well, here he is finally, because we've been reading all about him
Yes.
all over the blogs. We know this is Steve Lodge, the former police officer who's running for county treasurer in Anaheim, or whatever I've been telling you for the last 14 weeks. You finally met him.
It was a huge reveal.
Yes.
Continue.
Well, I mean, so I thought he was pretty sweet. I thought he was cute.
Yeah.
And you know, he's already him and Vicki have already gotten in on some action. So I guess we better get used to him.
Apparently.
Yes.
Goodness. A lot of action. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just thought it was the hugest reveal because it's the first time we've seen Vicki in this role in like forever, it seems.
Yes.
It's been Brooks and Brooks and Brooks and sadness and sadness and sadness and alone. And now she's got someone. And I love it.
She seems really happy.
She seems so happy. And they were cute. It was like a first date and they were kind of flirtatious and all the ladies were excited and Tamra
Especially
was
Tamra.
grabbing at his parts and trying to find his gun. But it was cute. Like it was back to the way it was, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
It's a new beginning.
A new beginning.
Tamra described it as a crook to a cop.
Accurate?
Very.
In my opinion, yes.
You know, call it like it is. You know Tamra. Tamra will do
Yes.
that. But it was good. And everyone kind of, I will say, the one part that's always made me sad for Vicki and the Brooks and all of that is that she just, everyone keeps harping on it and she just wanted to be with someone. And it seems very trying when your friends and loved ones just keep harping on your situation. So I get it on that level. And even tonight, Tamra was kind of ribbing her and giving, crook to a cop. And Vicki's going, oh God, can we please not talk about that anymore? Can we please let it die? But regardless, they all let it roll, and it looked like a really good start to a new thing. I was very happy with it.
Yeah. Overall, this was a really good episode. I mean, I was feeling like Kelly was a little bit absent on the episode, but then as we saw, her husband was getting a little too close to one of the other women that was at the party, which is kind of uncomfortable to watch your partner go that close to have an interaction with somebody.
Yeah, it was Heather's stylist, but it didn't really seem like Kelly was mad that he seemed to be hitting on this girl.
Yeah.
She was just annoyed that he was being annoying and kind of causing a scene and just acting
Embarrassing
inappropriately.
her.
Yeah, it wasn't at all like, what are you doing with this young girl? It was kind of like, just stop being drunk.
Yeah.
Right?
And this was after
and
all
I
the
thought it
promises.
should have been a little bit more like, leave this other girl
Yeah.
alone, right?
I think that Kelly and Michael's relationship is just in a really strange place, and we're all seeing it as viewers, and we don't quite know what to make of it because we see some episodes and they seem all right, arms around each other, like it's kind of loving or whatever, and then episodes like tonight where they're just boop, like couldn't be on different pages more, and then hearing her constantly talk about their relationship and how how Michael is mistreating her, and it's almost kind of heartbreaking because we're really seeing that level of vulnerability, and she's just so emotional every time she talks about him. It's like she breaks down into tears, and it's sort of rough to watch, but I think it's giving us a better idea of what she's really going through.
Yeah.
Because I think she kind of just burst on the scene and was this sassy drunk lady and just yelling all the time and whatever. But now we're like,
We were
really,
like, she must be the problem.
Yeah.
exactly, naturally. Like we're not seeing much of Michael. He must be, fed up or whatever. But no, we're seeing a different side of things. So
She's really opening up like herself to everybody at this point. I feel like we in the beginning didn't really know her, didn't really know what her vibe was about. Now she's really laying it out there. She's not even like hiding anything at this point. Everything is out on the table.
yeah.
So we have some news and gossip though, which is always a good part of our show. Christy, what do you have for us?
Do it. Oh, I love this part.
And maybe a little update actually on Kelly and Michael's relationship because
Perfect.
he threw her a surprise birthday party this last week in Newport Beach. The guest list was, quote, very selective because no one wanted any drama. One source told Radar Online. Vicki, Gretchen, Lizzie, and Kelly were all there. They have supposedly bonded over their hatred for Tamra and Shannon. So we all know who
Hatred.
wasn't there. Yeah. But there's some great pictures online. Kelly was apparently very surprised. Jolie was there as well.
good.
And it looks like everybody had a good time and that things didn't get
That's
too
sweet.
crazy.
Good.
Very sweet.
And I know you all will be very interested to hear this. After we acted out the tweets last week
That was so
from
much
this
fun.
infamous Real Housewives of Orange County Twitter feud, the production company sent a letter to all of the ladies telling them to stop the Twitter havoc. This came, apparently Shannon, she kind of complained to the network. She complained to the network about all this craziness going on social
harassment?
media. Yeah. And so production sent out a letter to all of them and said, it's gone too far. You need to stop attacking each other. They were told the network is upset that this looks bad for you guys. It looks bad for the show. Save it for the show, they were told. Save it for the reunion, and to stop fighting so dirty. They were specifically told to stop negatively mentioning each other on social media. So that is why the sort of radio silence maybe from these ladies in the last week or so after that big hullabaloo on Twitter.
That's kind of a bummer for us that just watch all this go down.
How dare you, Bravo?
Right? I mean, come on. I
need to know.
I guess
Yes.
if you want to save it for the reunion, I guess I can get on board with that. But don't cut us off entirely.
I know, because that sparks our interest for the reunion.
I know, we're
Keep
on
it a little
Twitter.
bit
We're
going.
on Twitter like, where is it?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
is nobody's talking?
Who's
Nobody's
fighting?
talking.
What's the fight now? We can't find it.
And meanwhile, Vicki is kind of speaking up about kill all cancer, trying to silence the naysayers. And she says that all the donations to kill all cancer will go directly to a nonprofit, and that she is trying to make this whole situation as transparent and valuable as possible. Now, that was in response to Tamra saying in her blog last week, kind of wondering if this is more just about Vicki rehabbing her image and making money than anything else.
Yeah.
So those two still going at it.
I have a side note quickly. The money going to kill all cancer is going to their donations, she's saying now?
She's saying all the donations that go to kill all cancer will then be directly donated to a nonprofit. That's it.
I'd be curious to know more.
Which one.
Right. I'd be curious to know more because she mentioned in the episode tonight that it wasn't like a charity per se. It was set up with the intention of purchasing an insurance policy so that were you to become sick with cancer, your insurance policy would help you pay. So that's not
Right.
a nonprofit
So maybe
donation
the
situation.
Donation part is something small
Vicki.
and additional. Yes.
How
you
does
know what?
that-
I'll try to get a few more
let's
answers.
dig into
for
this.
you. And our last headline of the day, you guys may have came across this. Heather and Terry have a vow renewal. Said on the headlines and didn't invite the cameras. Well, the real story is that they explained they actually did this a couple years after they got married. So a long, long time ago, Terry says he wouldn't do it on TV if they were to renew their vows anyway. But when it did happen, they wanted to get married again, just the two of them. They are explaining this in an interview. They say they had this huge first wedding at the Beverly Hills Hotel with, quote, a gazillion people. And so a couple years later, when they wanted to start having kids, they were on vacation and they just really decided that it was time to do a small ceremony between the two of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
So vow renewal ceremony already happened. Don't expect one from Terry and Heather.
Nice. Thank you for that, Christy. Always giving
Always
us
so
all the
good.
tea.
That's right.
Yes.
They keep spilling it, and I just keep sucking it up. My pink straw.
Good for Terry and Heather not having to put everything out there. I mean, we see them on Botch, we see them on this show, which they're pretty open. So it's kind of nice that they had something intimate.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can too.
So what kind of predictions do we have? We saw a little bit of
next week.
Next week.
I'm just living for these drama episodes. Let me just say, I get so excited. They see me at the end of the episode. I'm like,
We're like, Tamra's not breathing or blinking.
I see that as a gift in the future.
Oh,
Like
it is
that's
a
definitely a gift. Yeah.
for sure. Tamra was like hyperventilating.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked really bad.
I think it's
really
because
serious.
Kelly brought up her daughter, right? And that's
Yeah.
a place you don't want to go with Miss
Well,
Tamra.
I mean, I don't know what Tamra did to her in the first place to get her riled up like that, but that really was a low blow of Kelly to say something like that. I mean, that's so hurtful knowing
I
that.
think that's when Tamra said something along the lines of like her investigating how much Heather owed on her lot or something like that. So I feel like when Kelly gets attacked, that's the Kelly we get that
She goes
kind of
low.
goes and lashes out.
Yeah.
So go on.
Oh, it's just gonna be so interesting to see like the timeline of what goes on. You know,
Yeah.
what's the first thing, who follows it up, when does that happen? That Kelly says that it's just so gnarly. And then, you know, did more happen for Tamra to really hyperventilate like that? Did they get in a physical fight? Like I can't wait.
Yeah, and because my thing with Tamra, whenever she says "don't talk about my daughter," is that she continues to talk about her daughter, and that's her daughter's problem with her. So I'm really gonna need Kelly to have said something crazy for Tamra to justify, "Hey, don't talk about my daughter."
Yeah.
So I predict this whole situation may put me more on Kelly's side for the first time this season. I don't know how I feel about that.
Ooh,
So guess I'll have to wait and see what goes down. I know.
I can't wait. Well, we are so happy that you guys have tuned in to our after show. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you, Blake?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Blake V Media.
Well, I know you guys love these guilty pleasure reality shows, and there is a brand new one called Total Bellas premiering on E! On Wednesday night. I will be here breaking it down on the Total Bellas after show at 10 p.m. Pacific time. I really, really hope to see you guys there.
And I'm your host, Thomas Orlina. You can find me at Thomas Orlina on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget to follow us everywhere at AfterBuzz TV. Subscribe to our iTunes and our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.